Inspirational group. I wanted to say thank you so much for coming out tonight. It's a pleasure to see everyone here, especially on a Friday night. So I just want to say thank you so very much. The Women's Inspirational Group has expanded tremendously. When I first started 5 months ago, I started with only 12 members, and last forum we had about 45 women there, and today we have our health and wellness forum today. And as you can see, some people pick different topics of areas that they really want to concentrate on, but today is a very special forum tonight because this is really designed for individuals that are interested in improving different aspects of their lifestyle and health-wise, and different things that you want to change. So tonight we have 4 wonderful guest speakers who have volunteered their time to share their information and education. They want to share an educational experience with you of information that you should be able to take with you and use with you for a lifetime. So I just want to thank you again for everything and being a part of this event. So I wanted
to highlight some health trends in the United States that you guys are probably all aware of. We spend billions of dollars on weight loss products, going to the gym, different types of foods and programs. Our portion sizes are going up. Food is everywhere, so you can go to Target or Walmart now and grab some sort of mocha frozen drink and drink that while you're buying clothes and furniture. Our calorie intake has increased as a result of these things. On average, it's at least 200 extra calories a day, and as a result, our weight's increasing. And as a result, chronic disease such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes is increasing as well. So I think there's just a movement starting to go on in this country to try to bring us back to healthier eating and more mindful eating. And so what I figured I would talk about is some of the healthy behaviors, some pillars of healthy eating that I've pulled from the Fresh Start study and other studies that I've worked on throughout. So that when we, research has shown that when we're exposed to a lot of variety, we tend to eat more. And when food's very available to us, we grab it quickly and we eat more. So looking at variety first, the first picture is, classic Thanksgiving meal. And think about, dessert, for instance. You're like, oh, I'm going to try a little bit of this, I'm going to try a little bit of this. I'm only taking small pieces. But then it suddenly fills your plate. You're like, I've eaten a lot. So that's kind of a great example of thinking of variety. And down there, the last picture is just an exaggerated version. I mean, my grocery store doesn't look like that for apples, but it's just to show you that, even if you change the variety of just one fruit, that you will go, you'll eat it more, you'll stay interested in more. An example I love to use is sandwiches. So people are like, oh, I'm so tired of packing a sandwich or a salad. Well, you can make the same sandwich, but put pesto on it for a spread. Next time put mustard, another time put mayo. It's the same thing, but just you're changing one ingredient and it's keeping you interested. So the 7th pillar, as you'd expect, is mindful eating. And so hopefully all the other ones, contribute to mindful eating, but this really kind of gets at it. So being thoughtful about what you eat. Again, why are you eating something and then suddenly in your mouth and you're like, where did that come from? So having a little, planning ahead a little bit, and paying attention to your hunger and fullness. How many times have you guys been eating something and you're like, why am I eating this? I'm not even hungry. It doesn't even taste good. So, yeah. We even know that, when you have stale popcorn, you feed it to people, because it's there, they're going to eat it, and they're like, this isn't even good. So, paying attention to why you're eating, and if you find that you're eating and you're not hungry, what trigger is it? Is it emotional? Is it situational? Is it because the food just tastes really good and you want another serving? Sometimes that happens, and that's normal. That's a part of normal eating, but just paying attention to it. Anything from your dinner to just putting down your fork, drinking some water in between, to anything that's indulgent. Again, enjoy it. People will say all the time, oh, I wasn't good this weekend. Candace will say, oh, Lisa, I was with friends and we had cake. And I would say, well, did you, enjoy it? Did it count? And she'll be like, yeah. So I'm like, great, have it, move on. No guilt, make it count. So these are the pillars of healthy eating that you guys have as a handout.
I was like, you know what? I've always been chubby, but I gained more weight when I had my son. And I would never lose the weight. I was always in that plateau, 270 something, 260s. I never got down. And I'm like, what is going on? I only ate once a week. I mean, once a day, or twice a day. And I'm like, I shouldn't be eating, right? So my error was not eating, thinking that I was going to lose the weight because I wasn't eating. But then I started learning about my body in the sense of like, if you don't eat, your body goes into a shutdown, and thinks you're fasting or you're not eating, so it would store my fat. Anything that I can say right now might not help, just because you gotta get that will. You're the only one that can do it. So basically, the whole point is, if you really want to do it, you have to do the work. Me telling you what to do and what not to do is not gonna help you. So.
And my turning point was when, like, people would say, "Oh my God, Candace, what's going on? You don't even look the same anymore," you know? And it used to hurt me, because I would just be like, wow, like, I can't believe I'm letting myself go. And a part of the factor was that it's because of stress, and it was me being around negative people, that I had to disassociate myself to figure out what is it that I wanted. And a part of it was taking care of myself first, you know, so then I'm not developing any type of medical conditions, because a lot of things can be prevented, but you have to have that will to want to change. Because just because you see something and you want to have a slice of pizza, it's okay, but you can't have a slice of pizza every single day. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to develop clogged arteries, you're going to have diabetes, you're going to have a lot of problems that you can control. So being at those workshops that is actually very encouraging, because everybody's there for the same mission, to lose weight, and then we learn from each other, like, different types of food. There's so many different foods that I learned from the people in my class that I'm like, what is that? Like, that was never introduced to me, like, growing up, because my family's from the South, and the way we eat, we love soul food. And now it's like, when I go home, they're like, aren't you gonna eat more? You know? So now it's like you're controlling your portions. You're eating half of your food rather than eating all of it. And then when you change your diet, people in your house are gonna start doing the same.
When I was preparing for this talk, I was thinking about what are the reasons why we want to stop smoking. And one thing that came to me is that you can breathe better.
Yes.
You know, just feel better and breathe better is a reason for stop smoking. You know, it avoids many other health problems that come along with smoking. And it keeps your house and your car and your clothes can't smoke free. Have you ever gone to someone's house and you're not a smoker, you come home and you smell in your clothes, and you smell like a chimney factory, you know, you smell, it's disgusting, it's in your hair, it's all over the place. My sister-in-law did smoke, and she stopped smoking about 20 years ago, but I remember moving out of her apartment and thinking that the walls were really like a pale yellow, but we moved furniture, and behind the furniture it was white. So her walls were really white, and the walls were like a pale yellow. So you imagine that in your lungs, inside your body, like that's disgusting. So, and that's one reason why she stopped smoking, by seeing the difference of the wall, you know, versus, you know, with things around it. But let me give you some facts, okay? That lung cancer is the leading cause of death in the United States for men and women. Besides lung cancer, you know, tobacco use increases the risk for cancers of the mouth, the lips, the nose, the stomach, the kidney, the bladder, you name it, colon, cervix, uterus, the whole shebang, you know. And this is the kicker that really set it home for me, was that each year there's 3,400 people, non-smoking people, get lung cancer from secondhand smoke. They don't even smoke. They get it because somebody around them in their household is smoking, that they're inhaling. That's huge. So those are people that have children that you're smoking, or you know, or you go to a friend's house and stuff like that. That smoking causes lung cancer if you never smoked before. And also secondhand smoke. 42,000 deaths are due to secondhand smoking for people that once smoked. So these are people that currently smoked, and they have a little bit of scarring, a little bit of things kind of go in their lungs. They stop smoking, but maybe here's examples that maybe a man and a woman or whatever, or two spouses, and one stopped smoking, the other one continues to smoke. Well, that person who's living in a household that stopped smoking, is 42,000 people died from that stopped smoking. So that's huge. So that law should make it start thinking, well, maybe it's time to quit smoking. Stop smoking. And so do people think because we have melanin in our skin is darker, that we will not get skin cancer? But we can. Because what happens is, the ultraviolet rays penetrates through the layers of the skin and damages different layers of the skin. So even though our skin is darker, and that's anywhere from gambit from being, you know, Hispanic and being Greek, the whole gambit of skin colors, people still can develop skin cancer. It's a little bit different as far as the risk factor. It's there, but based on, like, some people, they say if you're Irish and you have freckles and red hair, you're more going to get skin cancer before I do, dark skin, but it's still there. So don't let that fool you, and don't let thinking putting on sunscreen is going to protect you from the sun. Okay, because you put more sunscreen doesn't mean you can sit in the sun all day. Okay, you know, 1/3 deaths of cancer in the United States is due to inactivity in your diet. That's huge, and we can work with that. So, you know, let's challenge each other and get out there and lose a few pounds and we'll get a little active. Okay? Any questions?
But I was thinking today to talk about stress, because, you know, we're talking about eating, we're talking about cancer, and one of the basic things that causes so much of the illness that's in our world today is our stress. There were 3 stages of stress. The first is the alarm reaction to the stressor. So, you know, someone says boo and you go, ah! And all of a sudden you want to do something really quickly. And that's that fight or flight that people are always talking about. The second is the resistance to the stressor. Our body, being what it is, the wonderful thing that it is, really, really tries to adapt to the stressor, which actually ends up making it worse in a way, but our bodies try to help us by adapting. And we keep sort of putting it off, and we absorb all this stress. And then what happens is we get exhaustion from the stressor. And that's when things start to break down. That's when things start to really bother us. That's when we get the headaches and the stomach aches. And we start to feel really, really tired. You just had all these scenarios in your head. Your body is pumped up. And now you've got all this stuff inside of you. And there's like this huge letdown, but it's still going on. You still have the adrenal pumped. You still have your blood pressure going up. Everything is still responding to that whole set of stressing for something that didn't even happen. I'm really, really tired, and yet I'm getting enough sleep. You need to look at these little messages that your body is giving to you and just pay attention to them. And try to begin today. This is an actual picture that I took. So it's a nice little road through the dunes, up at the Cape. And, you know, you don't know what's around the corner, but it can be really, really good. Just keep yourself healthy.
Picture the breath flowing from your cavities into your sinuses and then down to your lungs. As thoughts intrigue, allow them to pass and return your attention back to your breathing. See the air inside your body after you inhale, filling your body gently. Notice how the space inside your lungs becomes smaller after you exhale, and the air leaves your body. Feel your chest and stomach gently rise and fall with each breath. Now as you inhale, count silently. 1. As you exhale, count 1. Wait for the next breath and count again. 1. Exhale 1, inhale 1.
Is there a fee for that, or would their insurance cover it if it was like Blue Cross or whatever?
What we do here at the Zagum Center, especially for pediatrics, is we try to offer them what we call gift certificates. So it's really like a financial assistance.
Oh, great.
So they can apply for that, and they can find out that through the Zagum Center.
Okay.
It's through the numbers 3322, 23322. The extension is 23322. Or I happen to have some of my Dana-Farber cards if you want to email me.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to say thank you again for coming out tonight. This has meant a lot to me. So Our next forum is going to be in April. The last Friday in April, we're going to do a domestic violence forum. So you will be getting emails about that. So again, thank you so much for all of your support. It means a lot to me. And have a wonderful night.
I turn the music up, I got my records on. I shut the world outside until the lights come on. Maybe the streets are alive, maybe the trees are gone. I feel my heart stop beating to my favorite song.